I have on the phone with me one of the most consistent frontline activists that I have the pleasure of knowing and calling a friend. Miss Erica Ford is on the telephone.
Peace, Queen.
Peace, Erica. How are you, my love?
Oh,
I know that's a loaded question. I know.
yo, because I just came off of a call dealing with, besides everything else that's going on in the world, I got two people executed last night. Innocent people. Another innocent guy playing his music so loud he don't realize he's driving into a shootout, gets out the car and gets shot in the head. And he's my right hand man, Alon Standing, who runs the organization with me. That's his son.
Oh
And
my
we dealing with that,
God.
Corona, the George Floyd, the police, everything at the same time. And a lot of time, staff and everybody, like all of us, and you just recovering, and it's like you get overwhelmed and think
Yeah.
that there's no hope. And we got to let people know that there is hope, that we just got to stay steadfast.
I've been thinking about you, not just you, but uh all of my friends and people that we know that do this all the time, and you do this work all the time. And even for somebody like you who has seen it and you're built for it and your skin is strong, even you are having a hard time right now. So I can only imagine people who are just coming to the fight and just coming to the conversation, the overwhelming feeling that so many people have to be immersed in this conversation and this situation that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? So I worry about what our future is. I worry about people's safety. And I also am really worried about people's mental health and how they're
Yeah,
coping in the environment right now. So how do you do it?
I'm not normal. I am truly a superhero. I'm definitely not normal. Don't use me as a guiding force because I don't know how I do it. I don't sleep. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is in and out my life, we built a system so that we can address violence as a public health crisis. And I don't want us to put our violence in buckets, right? I don't want to put police violence and gang violence and, domestic violence and all of these. Violence is violence, and it comes from not dealing with your trauma. It comes from the fear that leads to hate, right? And so that you could look at a person and they're so irrelevant to your life, they don't even exist. And you could sit there with however many minutes with your knee on their neck because that person is irrelevant to you. They don't exist. And so we have to break that cycle of not interconnecting with people and people not existing in our world. And we can look at a real human being and they don't exist. There's a mindset that has to change. And when you're doing this because you love it and it's part of your fabric, then you don't get tired in a sense, right? You do things right. You eat the right food. You take the right vitamins. You get rest. You exercise. You meditate, and you do all those things that support the tools in which you need to do this work. But if you just, knee-jerk reaction to what's going on, and you running out there and you just, you're not thinking and preparing and having the discipline to do what's right. And I know we were out here in Queens on Sunday, and there was a young kid. He was like, yo, let's go storm the precinct. And I was like, we're not going to go storm the precinct because, first of all, half of y'all are high, half of y'all are drunk. Y'all don't know what you're doing. And you ain't getting nobody killed out here, right? If you want to fight the police, you go and storm the precinct. At some point, you got to deal also with the reality of what's going on right now. Doing things that are going to cost you your life, I understand I want to be the martyr or whatever. No, you got to be smart, right? You got to be smart. You can't win any war, any action, anything that you do in life based on just emotions. You have to be strategic. You have to think. You have to know what you're doing, and you got to be safe.
Also, I want to talk to you about or ask you, what is the thing that you can, because today everybody's using this, it's every day it'll be a different hashtag. People are sitting home,
Yeah,
they don't know what to do. People are
I know.
looking for leaders to follow, confused who to follow, outside
Yeah,
trying to protest peacefully, goes left. I mean,
yeah.
what is the overall call to action that you think everybody should be aware of?
So there's not just one, right?
Okay.
Because we all don't fit into one thing. But I would start with all politics are local, right? And so where you live, there's somebody doing work. And so start with where you live. Start with your house. Start with you. What are you doing? Who do you have conversations with? And understand that this is a long-term struggle. It's not going to happen if we burn all the United States down, if we kill all of the police, if we do any of that. It's not going to happen just like that. The system has to change. And in order for this system to change, we have to make sure that we're putting either having a consistent long-term resistance, or we are also putting people in office, not because the person who's been in office forever and we need to put them in office. No, we need to stop that. We need to get educated young people and run for office.
And
Yeah.
so I know there's a lot of voting happening today. There are there's what, 8 or 9
Yeah.
states where there's some primaries today. So we're making sure that we post that so everybody's aware of that.
And most importantly, but people need to fill out their census. They need
Yes.
to fill out their census, and they need to check black if you're black. And most people are black
Right.
because we all come from Africa. But because this way, the resources that we need, the offices, the federal dollars, come from that. And so we need to do that. We need to be part of the game. We got to get our skin in the game. We got to be active participants in our life. We can't just, do one lane. We got to do, things that are needed on a full front, because this attack is a full front. If you look right now, we have a virus. We have a coronavirus that is attacking our immune system and our health. We have a thing with the police and terror in our community. Then we have an economic thing with now stores being burned down, people losing their jobs, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's many fronts. There's many fronts that we need to be conscious of and be involved just in the conversation and the understanding. We're going to have to grow up fast. We got to grow up fast and get involved in our lives.
And now is the time. Thank you, Erica, so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Likewise. Thank you, Queen.